Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the EVE Online Phoenix 2020 Quadrant 4 and the potential changes that are coming along with it. So if you haven't seen the trailer, I do recommend that you watch it. I have linked it in the description below and I'm going to play you a slight clip of it here. So we've had some stealth bombers shooting some ravens, and then in this clip here we have the ravens rematerializing, which gives us a little bit of a snippet to what's going on. So with the upcoming installment of Quadrant 4, we can see here from the notes that Phoenix will end the year spectacularly with big changes to Supercarriers and continuous balance to meta changes, as well as Crimson Harvest and Youil festival events. So EVE's colossal Supercarriers will be getting a major update in the Phoenix Quadrant, including the introduction of a new tactical clone ability, allowing destroyed players and capsules to respawn immediately at the local fleet supercarrier and into a new ship stowed inside the supercarrier itself. There will also be a significant visual update to the supercarriers in this update. The Abyssal Proving Grounds are staying, and with different formats potentially incoming and leaderboards, so that should be quite interesting. Phoenix will also bring with it various themed seasonal events, celebrations, login campaigns, including the return of the Crimson Harvest and the Youil Festival, which we've already said up top. There will also be new ongoing daily challenges that will develop into a robust system, giving capsuleers more reasons to undock and engage. So we're going to start off with the supercarrier changes, as these are very interesting. As previously stated, that the new tactical clone bay will allow destroyed players to respawn immediately at the supercarrier's location. Now, obviously, by reading that, you are going to have a ship in the supercarrier. Now, how this will work is anybody's actual guess in regards to being able to launch a new ship, but this seems to go hand in hand with what CCP is currently trying, and that is to get more people destroyed on a more regular basis, more ISK sinks, more mineral sinks, etc. So they are continuing on this. We want to see more things exploding in space, and having a supercarrier filled with potentially other battleships or whatever, I guess, obviously will only encourage more stuff to go bang, hopefully. So with WWB2 going on at the moment, obviously there has been huge tie-dye due to the numbers that are involved in the battles that are currently commencing. Now, if you've got more people spawning ships out of other ships, I can only think that what that is going to do to the general stability of the servers. I can't imagine it being a good thing, and all the potential petitions and that will be going in when people are destroyed in the ship that was launched but was never actually launched. It could get very messy, so it'll be interesting to see how they're going to combat that. Now, what I would have liked to have seen with this is, I would have liked the current supercarrier to stay roughly in its current format. I would have liked to have seen the introduction of the tactical clone ability. I would have liked to have seen that on a Tech 2 supercarrier. Now, again, you could have had it with the clone ability only and the supercarrier as it currently stands. You could have obviously had it through invention, etc., which would have burnt up a good number of the supercarrier BPCs that we have knocking around. It would have given more emphasis to owning a supercarrier BPO and the owners of that somewhere to offset some of their BPCs that they can produce. It wasn't all that long ago that supercarriers and carriers and the Titan were nerfed quite significantly, with their shields or the shield modules losing some of their percentage resist and them losing overall shields and armor. So not only would that have added another ship into the game, which is always good, it would have given a good sink for Tech 2 materials, it would have given somewhere said for the BPCs to be used up, and again, then you wouldn't have had to have touched the current supercarrier in its form, and you know, again, it opens up another area of ships that you could have had more, so say, supercarrier kind of support ships. They don't even have to have the Tech 2 resists. Again, people would probably have them just to the fact that the clone ability and whether you make them significantly more expensive or again just have another variant at roughly the same price, just due to the fact that they have different properties, etc. I think that I would have liked to have seen that in some form. So I think a lot of people will welcome back the Crimson Harvest and the Youil festivals. Again, gives people something to do, something a bit different, and when it's timed, people don't really particularly get that bored of it because again it doesn't come around that often. So nice to see that returning. Now this is an interesting one. There will also be new ongoing daily challenges that will develop into a robust system, giving capsuleers more reasons to undock. Now obviously with the daily login rewards, which are pretty naff for the vast majority of people in the game, how they're going to develop this into a more robust system is anybody's guess. As you can see here, I currently have 41 items available to redeem. I don't bother with the vast majority, they just sit there until they expire. And you get the general daily, go out and do something, get 25,000 skill points if you destroy 10 NPCs. Now that's fine, but not everybody has the skills for this. Some people have obviously mining skills, which doesn't necessarily transfer over to shooting things, etc. So that could be a bit of an issue. So whether they're going to address that and have, I don't know, mine X amount or destroy 10 NPCs, again, that might be a way that they can change it. And if they are going to go down this route, then generally I'd like to see something a little bit more focused, a little bit more into it. So yeah, something that's not quite as mundane as doing the same thing day after day, whether it be 10 NPCs, 5 or 1, or mine X, Z, etc. So what they can do, I'm at a loss at how they're going to make it more fun, and I very much doubt it is going to be more fun. It's just going to feel more grindy, and as a newer player you're probably going to feel that you're going to have to do it or you're going to be losing out, and I don't think that's a very good way or direction for a game that kind of prides itself on taking its time. Again, skill points come slowly but surely, and yes, it is quite nice to have a little bit of a boost, and obviously that can be very beneficial when you're trying to get into a new ship, or if you're trying to do something very specific like scanning, etc. So having skill points come in slowly but surely I do like, but how we're going to make it interesting other than just another grind is the challenge that they're going to have to face, or whether again they just keep coming trickle by trickle every time you log in. Again, it's not a very robust system and it's not particularly fun. However, it does slightly, and I will say slightly, discourage skill farming due to the fact that obviously you have to log in all your characters pretty much every day to get the 5,000 points as it currently stands, which is 150,000 a month. So about 150,000 skill points is obviously quite a chunk of ISK. You're looking at about 100 million ISK depending on the valuation at the time. So yeah, the more obviously characters you have, the more of a grind that is, and although it's not horrific, it does force you to kind of log in every day in order to collect them. Whereas prior you could literally just leave it for a month or however long you'd plexed it for, and again stack up the skill points and then just leave it and return to it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months or however long you'd planned it for, where, as I say, you don't have to log in to grab them now, but again you start doing that over any significant number of characters and the ISK starts to mount. Now, it would be interesting to know if that was an intended consequence of the daily login, or whether, so say, that's just happened by accident, but it does have a slight effect, and although it is still profitable to skill farm, it is slowly having a bigger and bigger effect over time, and if that again slowly increases, then obviously having more characters becomes more of a detriment. So to finish off, we'll have a look at the Blazing Phoenix pack here, which CCP has just put in at a cost of £42, so that's about $55–60, and which will get you the following: Capital skill books, Fighter skill books, few Supercarrier skins, and Triglavian survival suits. Now, The skins are worth quite a lot of ISK, although don't sell particularly large numbers. And again, skill books for £42 is a lot of money, considering you're not getting a huge amount. So again, really bad deal here. I don't know what they were thinking all in all. Now, I do like the idea of new skins, etc., but for that price, it's not cheap. And one of the issues here is by buying these items, you are not exchanging ISK for them. Skill books in EVE are a sink. They take ISK out of the economy, and obviously that is generally what CCP are aiming for at the moment. So by being able to buy these skill books, yes, I shouldn't imagine huge amounts of people will be buying them, but the point is that, you know, the capital skill books, as it says here, are worth hundreds of millions of ISK in game, and now that's hundreds of millions of ISK that isn't going to be sucked out the game through in-game transactions. So it's almost a bit contradictory to what they're doing. They're trying to rebalance the economy, etc., suck ISK out of the economy, and then on the other hand, they're just printing skill books into existence through no internal transactions from EVE. So again, mixed. You know, if people want to spend that amount and help fund the game, then I'm all for it. For generally things that don't affect the game, so obviously with the skins and that, but with the skill books, I'm a bit torn whether I'm okay with that or not. But it's not my game, so I will have to suck it up. And again, it's a slippery slope that they're starting to climb now, and again, where this will stop is anybody's guess, but I wouldn't recommend this pack to anybody in its current state. So I think on that note, we'll wrap up here. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, then please do think about subscribing to the channel. It does help me immensely. We are currently trying to grow to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm slowly closing in on that number. If you like the video, then like, leave a comment, share, etc. Again, very much appreciated, and thank you for watching. Fly safe.